What up? So with the emergence of this path, with the emergence of I don't know, I guess like a slowing effect, a less of a need for top approval or prestige or the immediate gratification. I think that's a good way to put it. There's a lack of need for the immediate gratification, and how I've experienced that. This is 64 days, something like that, 7 weeks. My last video was 2 weeks ago, and I'm just gonna point to some things professionally. I'm 50. I find that of relative importance. Been a masturbator, releaser, depleted fuck for my whole life. Somewhere deep in my conscious psyche, there was the desire and hope that I would outgrow this shortcoming, this behavior. But I ran into some 70-year-old perverts, and I became under the impression that this is not something that is released with age. It is something that you have to change about yourself, that you have to have the desire and the willingness to change. And with that, you may find some success. You may find the ability to do it, but not until I came across this community. And my oldest brother, Mike, started on his journey and told me he had 100 days at one point, was I able to make a mental adjustment and a considerable attempt, like a conscious attempt. It is possible, and I have been free from pornography and PMO for 64 days. Leading up to that, I had 28, 21, 21, 7, 14, 7-day streaks in order to get to this point where I'm at right now. Professionally, I'm a chef, and I've always taken jobs, especially chef jobs, head of restaurants, and would in short time, I was after the money, I was after the prestige. I would take the job, kind of like didn't really deserve it. My resume was decent, my experience was decent, but I would always take the job and then try to figure it out later. I would try to exert my will upon the situation, and in the opening weeks, I would try to fix everything, but in doing that, I would burn bridges with current employees. I could see the problems, but I didn't have a pathway to fix them. I would work in those initial weeks. I would work 70-hour weeks, and I would eventually burn myself out. And while doing that, light up some new resentments and have the inability to communicate or slow down, and I would get a sense of being completely overwhelmed, and I'd start looking for an exit strategy. And in the exit strategy, I would find people who are at fault, like the ownership, like the old-time employees who are unwilling to change. I would never look at the fact that, at my approach. And so currently, I have a chef position, an AM chef position at a hotel and restaurant. Very successful place. The place has only been open for a few months. I started in September. The place opened in June, so it'll be open. Have been open for a year in June, and a lot of my practice, my retention started in early October. With these various weeks and time periods of success, and what am I trying to say here? What I'm trying to say is that during this time period, the ownership, the leadership group, the management group, which I am part of, has several of them, especially having to do with the food and beverage side, have encouraged me to be the chef, to take on a bigger role. And what I found myself intuitively saying the other day, not planned, just in a conversation with one of these leaders, that this very well may happen. I may end up the chef in the broader sense of the word, overseeing the AM, overseeing the PM, overseeing the purchasing, the menu development, staffing, so on and so forth. But what would be different about that is that I would earn the promotion through experience and relationship building, and be given the position because it is the natural and organic thing that has happened, the right thing to do, because it'll become obvious that I have grown into that position, rather than what used to happen is I would get the position and then try to fulfill the task, which is nearly impossible, because you cannot grow in this situation. You cannot grow at the same speed that the organization and that the job is growing. The job is outgrowing the chef. The job is outgrowing the chef, and it's not the chef's fault. It's that it's the speed of the business is they're adding new facets and new new menus. It's gone from like a restaurant that was open to dinner to a restaurant that's open for breakfast also, to a restaurant that's offering retreats, to a restaurant that's offering banquets, to a restaurant that's gone from 5 days to 7 days, so on and on and on. And to expect the chef to just be able to grow in his capacity as fast as the restaurant is growing in capacity is unrealistic. So me as coming in at like an entry level position, for someone who's been cooking for 33 years and have been in the restaurant for 33 years, is kind of an entry-level position. Not a ton of pressure. I'm able to pay attention and witness the needs of separate departments and build relationships on a ground level with people, with being a retained man. And what I'm experiencing is a pathway to my professional success unfolding in front of me. I'm participating in it. I'm not rushing to the finish line. I'm not rushing to get the title. I don't give a fuck about the title. I can lead from any position if I'm retained. I can lead in any situation when I'm retained. My voice carries a different resonance than it used to. It's not needy. I don't need your top approval. I don't need to be right. I can be in the conversation, sharing my experience, and not need to win the approval of the group. And in that position, paradoxically, you win the approval of the group. They tend to hear what you're saying and appreciate the fact that you're willing to hear the other sides and their concerns. When I'm in one of these leadership meetings, I'm just coming from the AM perspective. I'm talking about what my needs are as the AM chef, what the team needs, what it is that needs to happen, what complications may arise, what complications I may see rise up in the future with certain decisions and certain plans trying to be executed. But as time goes on, I will have a broader understanding of what the front desk goes through, basically through building a relationship with the front desk people. I will have a broader understanding of what the hotel's needs are by having a relationship with the assistant manager and the GM of the hotel. To think that I could just come in and same thing goes with the chef, the sous chefs, the garde manger, the entremetier, the dishwashers, the wait staff, all of these people. So the longer I'm here without massive expectation on myself, but just the willingness to learn and communicate and grow and help and be of service to those people, the position will be revealed to me. The promotion will be given to me, and it will be earned, as opposed to being given the promotion and then trying to find out a way to earn it. Never worked that way. Never going to work that way for me. So right now, as it lies, I have opened the AM kitchen. I was the chef on opening day when we started serving breakfast. The menu is basically mine. The mise en place, the way we get from food coming off the truck into the walk-in onto the plates is been managed by me primarily. And now I have hired an assistant to take over some of the day-to-day cookery. So I'm not cooking every single omelet, but like I've set the standard as to how omelets are cooked, how French toast is cooked, how different preparations are made. And then I've taught that to a talented young chef, young cook. And so it's going to and that is going to now give me a little bit more opportunity to do some other things. Now I could just chill out and collect my paycheck and not do other things. But for me, I want to do more. And so what they're doing is for the summer, they have a pool and some saunas. And next to the pool, they have a little cabana type place. It's more of an incredible building than a cabana, but it has a little area to do what kind of is reminiscent of a food truck. If a food truck didn't have wheels, so what I'm saying is the space available is like the size of a food truck with a little bit of a window that you could come up to and order some things. So I wrote a menu for a bunch of chefs, bunch of people within the business, within our business, wrote menus and concepts. I wrote one kind of behind the scenes, gave it to the owner. They chose my concept. I asked them not to identify me as the author of the concept, that I could just fly under the radar. I don't want to burn any bridges. I don't want to piss anybody off or step on any toes. Like I said, I didn't come in as the chef, but they chose that. And so I will nominate myself to now be the proxy chef, the contact for this menu. And so two out of the let's say 5 menus or types of services that we are involved in, I will have firsthand knowledge of. Now the next will be banquet. I've already have a pretty intimate relationship with the front of the house staff that does the what are they called? Retreats and luncheons and that type of thing, just because I was already there as the breakfast chef, and that would just make sense that the breakfast chef kind of did the lunch stuff. So anyway, all I'm saying is that retention has changed the speed. It's given me a clearer picture on what my ambitions are, but it's changed the mechanism and the speed in which I need to achieve them. I am right now, I have a 2-year-old, I have a wife, we have a home, we have things going on, we have projects at the house we want to do. I don't need this job right now. But what I can see is in the future, cooking and restaurant life is very transient. People don't stay at the job for a long time often. As they get further along in their career, it's more likely they stay at a place for an extended amount of time. So all this to say, I see a path. I can patiently walk the path. The vision is clear. The way to get to it is clear. And it's through relationship building and through semen retention. Simply. It's very easy. And I don't need to have all the answers. All I need to do is be willing to show up, have a voice, and also have ears, and be willing to listen to other people and not take anything personally. And I think my ascension will be much better than any sort of experience that I had previously. 15 minutes. Love you. Love the community. I'm glad to be a part of it. 64 days is a wonderful, wonderful place. And for whatever your reason, whatever your motivation for getting involved in this practice, it will be challenging. It will be not what you expect, but it will be what you need. 100%. Love you.